friends, welcome to Outliers. I'm Molly Hawkins, inspired and happy to be joining you again today. For those joining for the first time, Outliers is about the people and the things on the fringes of action sports. And today's guest certainly embodies the spirit of what it is to be an outlier. Lynsey Dyer, she is an athlete, an artist and adventurer, photographer, and also a philanthropist. As a pro skier, she's appeared in films such as Warren Miller and has skied some of the gnarliest and unlikely terrain from Alaska to India. She rides for First Ascent, Eddie Bauer, Fisher, Gordini, Recco, Jackson Hole, Black Diamond, and Asterisk, and truly embodies what I've come to understand what beauty really is. And strength and character and not just athleticism. Lynsey stands for what she believes in. And she's certainly an inspiration for women and an inspiration to me. Hey, Lynsey, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks, Molly. Thanks for having me.
Tell me, where are you right now? Where did you just come from and where are you heading?
We just came from our first film shoot up in Retallick, which is kind of known as like the powder pillow haven. With the first all-female film crew, and then a couple days up in Revelstoke as well, and early season, and happens to be kind of the only place with good snow in all of North America. So we were happy to get some stuff done.
For folks who don't know what this project is you're working on, can you tell us a little bit about Pretty Faces?
Yeah, for basically the last year and a half, and probably preparing for it my whole life, I've been working on an all-female ski snowboard film that aims to focus on getting more young girls outside by offering them healthy, fun role models and essentially making skiing in the outdoors look so fun that we get girls out of the malls and into the mountains.
And for people who maybe are a little less familiar, I mean, can you tell them a little bit about what the landscape is like right now? Because, you know, you don't see a lot of women-specific films in any area of action sports. What prompted you to start putting this project together?
Well, I've been a professional skier for the last 10 years and grew up skiing, you know, since I can remember. And you're absolutely right. You don't see sometimes maybe one token female in action sports films, and so I've been incredibly inspired by all of them, and I just saw an opportunity to target a different audience and target a female and young audience, so that my ultimate goal is, like I've said, to get more young girls participating, give them a place where they feel like they can belong in the mountains. So it's not just the boys.
So what you're saying is that most of the films tend to be targeted more towards males. I mean, is that a big issue for creating participation or getting women excited about sport?
I think just generally, you know, most people just sort of think it's a guy thing, and like you said, most people don't see many girls participating, so they don't maybe think that many girls are. However, there are tons of girls who absolutely rip, and I've been coming across them in my fight to show females in a different light, and my intent is to shed some light on them and shed some light on females not only showcasing their talent in the backcountry, but also working together, and just to paint a picture of what it could be. Because essentially, I think there are beautiful aspects of that both masculine and feminine bring into the mountains and into action sports, and I think the combination of everybody being the best of who they can be, sounds so cheesy, is the ultimate goal. You know, we all ski together. We ski or snowboard with guys and girls, and that's what makes it fun, is shredding with all your friends. So we just want to bring more of that.
So when I first met you, I just really knew that you were a badass female skier. But then I came to find out that you're an artist and a photographer and an incredibly inspiring person. But before we go into some of that, I mean, I'd love to share your story about how you got into skiing. You're a world-class skier. You've been in Warren Miller, one of the most prolific and, known ski films.
Well, you can't just put me on the spot, Molly Hawkins. We should tell the backstory of how we both met. We both kind of knew we were both on the planet to help inspire, and I feel pretty lucky that we did meet. I think we both remember the day.
All I know is when I first met your ex, one of the things that I remember, which was one of the first things that he told me, was, "You're gonna love my girlfriend."
That's what he said to me too, and it was probably one of the greatest gifts of our relationship was getting to meet Molly Hawkins.
Well, it's mutual. I feel so lucky. You've inspired me along the way, and trying to figure out what my role has been in this industry. And
we're one and the same. I think there's a whole generation of us, and anyone listening knows too. Like, there was a generation of us that decided to come to the planet to bring a little magic, and we've got to work together.
For
Calling
sure.
all the magic makers.
Calling all unicorns. So how did you get into skiing, for those who don't know?
Okay. So I was one of those lucky kids that, was kind of born into the mountains. Skiing, before I could walk, that's all I remember. My parents were, met on the mountain. And Dad was a ski coach and cat driver, and Mom was a little fashionista bump queen. They each had about 3 jobs so that we could live in Sun Valley and attempt to keep up with the Joneses. And I just, luckily, I feel, in looking back now, I realize that skiing gave me an opportunity to get away from a lot of the social pressures that I know that all girls feel, whether it's making sure your thighs are a certain size or fitting into some model of what beautiful is, or all these fitting into cliques or peer pressure, all that stuff. I realize now that skiing gave me this outlet to get away from all that, including even, like, I had a great excuse not to do drugs or drink because I had to get up in the morning and ski. And that was just such a huge gift to my life that I just wanted to make it more accessible to more girls, because what I found was, and statistically, most all kids are active, and some of my favorite memories of skiing are when I was little, when everybody skied, right? When it was essentially daycare for everyone. And but by the age of 11, a lot of girls tend to fall off and stop participating in sports because they think they're not good enough, or it gets too competitive or whatnot. And so I really want to target that age, 11 to 15, and create a film that is accessible to them and inspires them and shows them that there's another way beyond competition, beyond just how rad you can be, but more so bringing our femininity, bringing the community, bringing just the fun out there.
Fun. I think that could be applied and really embraced in more areas of life. And I see what you're doing out on the snow. Outside of this film, you also have a great nonprofit that is clearly you're having a lot of fun with. Can you tell everybody about She Jumps?
Yeah, so I guess I've been on this mission for a while, and skiing is obviously an individual sport, and I really love team sports. Soccer is just my favorite thing. I was never that great at it, but oh my gosh, do I love it. And one of my best friends and I started talking about how we missed our soccer teams, and she was the captain of the UW team, full ride scholarships, played with Hope Solo. And we just started talking one day about how skiing was so cutthroat, especially on the girls' side, because most people think there's maybe only room for one, like you're seeing in the films. And so we realized if we wanted to raise the level of girls riding, we needed to make a team out of it. So we created She Jumps that works on 3 different levels. One is to recognize what women are doing, get them in the spotlight. And the second is to create a community. So, a lot of people will move to a ski town and they can't find other like-minded people to get out with. So the recreational part we have chapters in cities and towns all over the U.S. and Europe, and actually in New Zealand and now, where you can get on and meet, reach out to other like-minded people in your area and just get outside with. It's really cool. Our network is got about 5,000 now all over, and we do workshops and just get-togethers from fly fishing to mountain biking to kayaking to ski clinics, and we always try to bring the fun with costumes and whatnot to just lighten it up and have fun getting to know people outside. And then the last aspect is we focus on those first two groups to be coaches for some of our programming, where we call the Never Evers, where we focus on kids that wouldn't have the chance otherwise to get outside. So we partner with the Boys and Girls Club over 4 consecutive weekends and teach kids how to ski. That's one of our main programs. Those are the 3 ways we work.
It's been a lot of fun following the journey with She Jumps. I remember, when were just concepting it and trying to figure out, after you figured out what your purpose was and, what your mission was, I remember when it's just an idea. So it's been really cool to watch it grow and blossom into what it is today. I follow on Facebook and I go to the website every once in a while. And it's insane. You guys are everywhere and you're having so much fun. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see, a group of 30 women getting out and in Minnesota now or Vermont, and knowing that somehow we had an impact on that. Really cool.
So you've got a lot on your plate. Philanthropy seems to be your main focus right now, but outside of everybody else, what do you do for fun? What do you do for you? What inspires you to keep going?
I think that creativity, getting to be in the mountains and with my friends and getting to share that and bring home a cool new angle or a cool new photo. I feel so lucky that I get to do that. And this film is probably an excuse to get to do art. Even for the Kickstarter, I was so excited to get to design hats and hoodies for the Kickstarter. Any excuse to do art is my absolute passion.
Awesome. Again, everybody, you're listening to Outliers, and I have my guest, Lynsey Dyer, on with me, and she's talking about being a unicorn. And she's sharing a little bit about her story and talking about Pretty Faces, an all-female ski and snowboard film that's going to be released in the fall of 2014. How do you tell everybody a little bit more about the Kickstarter campaign? I know this could be an hour-long conversation about financing women's projects, but why did you decide to tap into Kickstarter in that community?
Well, a lot of reasons. One was actually to test the market. We didn't get a whole lot of response from big sponsors, partially because they all love the idea, but their monies were already tied up, all headed to the Olympics. So this was another way to engage the audience and to see if the market really wanted to see it. And we've had an overwhelming response. I've been really, truly honored. We are at about $30,000 right now, all off small donations, which tells me that people really do want to see girls shredding, which is incredibly inspiring and keeps me going. The other thing that's unique about the film is that we're not only crowdfunding, but also crowdsourcing footage. So we're really encouraging girls and dads and ski coaches and whatnot to be filming their girls out there this winter and submitting that footage so that we can really tell the story of what it looks like to be a female skier, snowboarder, outside of just the big sponsor names.
That's awesome. I've never heard of anything like that, even across male sports or action sports, looking at both the crowdfunding and crowdsourcing component. I think so often people are very private and exclusive about that process. And I think it's really beautiful how inclusive this project is.
Yeah, there's no more excuses. No one can say we don't have a chance anymore.
Right?
Now we do.
Yeah, and everyone and people are stepping up. It's crazy. It's really cool to see. So everybody who's listening, this is the last push. Definitely think there's 9 days left in the campaign, so make sure to counting down. Go on over to the Kickstarter page, go to unicornpicnic.com and make sure to put your buck in. So another thing that I wanted to talk to you about is the sport, talking about the competitiveness and the materialism. How do you as an athlete, if there's other girls or, athletes out there that are, listening, what keeps you connected to the soul of the sport, and how do you really elevate beyond all that materialism and competitiveness in the industry?
I've struggled with all that and trying to find a place and all that. And in fighting so hard just to have any opportunity at all, I don't know what has switched, but I truly feel so honored to get to be in the mountains, to get to literally just stand out in them now. And maybe that sounds cliche, but I'm a lot happier. And I end up performing better that way as well. So I think I heard a great quote recently that said, I don't think I was the best, but I loved it the most. And I think that's really the essence of all of this. If you're doing it for yourself, if you truly, truly love it. Like, people send me emails like, how do I be a pro skier? And the thing is, like, I don't know. I never set out to be a pro skier. I didn't even know you could. And there's been many, many, many times where I was like, I'm not cut out for this. This isn't me. I'm not good enough. I'm a thousand reasons. They don't believe in me, whatever. But I still love it. No one can take that away from me. And so I just kept showing up because I loved it. And, you go through ups and downs no matter what you love, like any relationship, I think. And that's what shows you who you are, through the good and the bad. Lots of injuries, lots of failures, lots of disappointments, but the POW still calls, so still here.
Be yourself and spend as much time outdoors as possible.
Or whatever you love.
Whatever you love, right? So what about all the criticism? I hate to bring this up, but at the same time, I think it's a big issue and something that I think other girls can glean off of from you. You're a magnificent human being from the inside and out. Your beauty is captivating. And I feel like the industry has kind of in so many ways perhaps misguided and kind of taken away from the attention and focus of you being an athlete over, being, a beautiful, hot, girl in the ski industry that's dominated by men. I'd love to hear your take on the sexualization of female athletes, as it relates to the media coverage. And
yeah, it's something that it's a blessing and a curse. I will say that there are so many male athletes that deserve recognition that they have and never will get. Partially because it's too competitive. Well, I got to say that. After that, I've got to say, it's really loud in here. There's like a football game going above my head. So the next part is, like, as female athletes, we don't necessarily have all of the control over our image and how we're portrayed. So, for example, like, I once hit a 60-plus foot air, got a pretty awesome shot, and then did a turn below the air. And my sponsor chose to use the photo of the turn, the tight turn below that big air, because it showed the product, it showed what they thought was more relatable, and therefore, so often that happens. So therefore, we're portrayed from our hair and smile and ski model-esque look, rather than what we might have fought really hard or taken huge risks to do. Or we often see girls objectifying themselves, knowing that they can get a lot of attention by taking some clothes off and playing that angle. And I have to say myself, like, I've had, we have so few opportunities to to be feminine. I've definitely taken the opportunity to go on a, beach model shoot just for the experience of it, just to get to be a girl and feel what it feels like to, this is what it feels like to be a model. At the same time, I've never used that to get ahead myself, but we're watching that happen a lot. So I guess my point is, it's a touchy subject. I'm certainly not afraid to be a girl, not afraid to wear a bikini, but at the same time, I'll show you the emails. I will beg my sponsors to use the images that are rowdy, because we really are, just like the guys, putting our lives on the line and trying to show what we're capable of as athletes. And so that's a huge part of what this film is showing that girls can do this, and they are doing this. We just don't necessarily get the chance to show what we can do very often. So it's easy to be pigeonholed into, that's just another pretty face making a smiley turn.
Right, hence the name of the film, right?
Exactly.
So what do you think it's going to take to elevate women to an equal plane with men? Do you think that's even possible? I mean, one thing that I've thought about is it going to take getting more women at the executive level in marketing positions for these companies that are paying the bill, footing the bill for the films? More groups like She Jumps?
Yes, I think it's a bunch of things. One, I think it's having girls up in playing those roles. It's also educating the market and getting consumers to. I'll tell you right now, I've had plenty of sponsors who said, women don't want hard-charging skis. Women want flowers on their skis. Just put pink on it. These.
All right.
I don't want to name names, but I've been fighting for a long time to say, no, actually, women do want a hard-charging ski. Women are tough enough. Women do work out. They do want to be able to compete at that level. And I don't know that it's about being equal with men as far as, like, I think so many of us felt like we had to be men to be taken seriously. And what I'm trying to do is create a place where we can be ourselves, be taken seriously. Mm-hmm. Like, there can be a place for us as females, as ourselves, not just as girls trying to be dudes. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I guess, it seems like you're answering this question a lot for girls out there aspiring to become a pro athlete or to excel at whatever, facet of action sports it is. I mean, what would you say to them, or what are you sharing with these girls that reach out to you?
The message I'm trying to share is what I'm trying to work on myself. Ultimate radical self-acceptance, and then being willing to just own it. Instead of doing what you think you're supposed to do, saying what you think you're supposed to say, whether it's getting a desk job or trying to pursue a life in the mountains.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a desk job if you love it.
No, there isn't. Whatever is true for you.
Right.
And that's the hardest thing is, I think that's the greatest challenge for all of us, is really checking into what and who am I? And then am I willing to actually live from that place authentically without, because we will no doubt disappoint other people around us if we're really living from that place. And that is ultimate courage to me.
Check in, be yourself, and you said ultimate radical self-acceptance?
Yeah, and that's universal. That's not a guy-girl thing. That's ultimate courage, I'd say, if you're willing to stand up for whoever that person is and what they think and what they feel and how they want to show up in the world, versus all of the influences we see from beauty magazines to mass media. There's a lot of pressure to be other things, or our parents, or whatever.
Though it's clear what your stated message is, Lynsey, I think what you're trying to do is so much bigger. And I think whether you're a guy or a girl out there listening to the show, this program, and listening to Lynsey's words, I think there's something that we all could kind of learn and walk away from. And I think that one, actually, I'm really excited about this term. I'm probably going to overuse it. I'm warning you, friends, family, people that I work with. Ultimate radical self-acceptance. It's something that I think too often, we're not driven to at an early age, really focus on is being ourselves. There's so much noise out there.
Fit in at a very young age.
Yep. I thank you so much, Lynsey, for sharing your story and sharing ultimate radical self-acceptance with us. I'm very excited to see the film Pretty Faces when it comes out this next fall. You can visit unicornpicnic.com to see the trailer and learn how you can contribute to the Kickstarter campaign, or visit outliersproject.com for more on Lynsey to check out more Outliers and learn about what she is up to. Thank you so much, Lynsey.
Thanks, Mom.
I'm Molly Hawkins, and thanks again for listening to Outliers. You can visit outliersproject.com for more on Lynsey and more Outliers, and we will see you again soon.